Good morning. Becoming conscious. The first thing necessary. What is one to do to prepare oneself for this yoga? To be conscious, first of all, Mother says. We are conscious of only an insignificant portion of our being. For the most part, we are unconscious. And it is this unconsciousness that keeps us down to our unregenerate nature and prevents change and transformation. And also, it is through this that the undivine forces enter into us and make us their slaves. So, you need to be conscious of yourself, you must be awake to your nature and movements, and you must know why and how you do things or feel or think them. You must understand your motives, impulses, forces, hidden and apparent, that move you. In fact, you must, as it were, to take to pieces the entire machinery of your being. Once you're conscious, it means that you can distinguish and sift things. You can see which are the forces that pull you down and which are the ones that help you. And when you know the right from the wrong, the true from the false, the divine from the undivine, you are to act strictly up to your knowledge. That is to say, resolutely reject one and accept the other. This duality will present itself at every step, and you need to make a choice at every time. You will have to be patient, persistent, vigilant, sleepless, and you must always refuse to give any chance whatever to the undivine against the divine. You can use a luminous screen to do this. One must be clearly aware of the origin of one's movements because they are contradictory velities in the being. Some push you this way, some push you that way, and creates a chaos in your life. If you observe yourself, you will see that as soon as you do something which disturbs you a little, the mind immediately gives you a favorable reason to justify yourself. This mind is capable of gilding everything. In these conditions, it is difficult to know oneself, and one must be absolutely sincere to be able to do and see clearly into all the little falsehoods of the mental being. If in your mind you go over the various movements and reactions of the day like one repeating indefinitely the same thing, you will never progress. If you review to make a progress, you must find something within you in whose light you yourself can be your own judge, something which represents for you the best part of yourself, which has some light, some goodwill, precisely is in love with progress. Place that before you, and first of all, across it as a cinema, all that you have done, all that you have felt, all your impulses, thoughts. Then try to coordinate, that is, to find out why this has followed that. And look at the luminous screen that is before you. Certain things pass as it goes across well without throwing any shadow, while the other throw a little shadow. Others yet cast a shadow altogether black and disagreeable. You must do this very sincerely as though you were playing a game under such circumstances. I did this, I had this feeling, I thought like this, or I am thinking in this way. I have before me my ideal of knowledge and self mastery. Well, was this act in keeping with my ideal or not? If it was, it would not leave any shadow on your screen, which would remain transparent, and one would not have to worry about it. If in the conformity it casts a shadow, why has it left this shadow? What was there in this act that was contrary to the will of the self knowledge and self mastery? Most often, you will find that it corresponds to the unconsciousness that you file among unconscious things and resolve the next time you try to be conscious before doing anything. But in other cases, you will see that it was a nasty little egoism, quite black, which had come to distort your action and your thought. Then you place this egoism before the light and ask yourself, why has it the right to make me act like this or think like that? And instead of accepting any odd explanation, you must search and you will find in the corner of your being something which thinks and says, oh, I shall accept everything but that. You will see that it is a petty vanity, a moment of self love, a egoistic feeling hidden somewhere out of all the hundred things. Then you take a good look at these things in the light of your ideal. Is cherishing this moment in conformity with your seeking and realization of the ideal? Well, if you put this little dark corner in the front of light until the light enters and disappears, then everything is over. Yet, if you continue to do this game for truly, if you are doing it sincerely, I assure you that 6 months later, you will not recognize yourself. You will say to yourself, "What? I was like that? Oh, it's impossible." See how little outer circumstances matter. Why strive and strain as to realize their own conception of truth? Be more supple and more trusting. The only duty is to not to let oneself be troubled by anything. To torment oneself about doing the right thing causes as much harm as a bad will. Only in a calm of deep waters can be found the possibility of true service. These are the words taken from the book The Mother. Thank you. Namaste.